one of the most unique stories was I actually had my own car stolen. And my brother, who I mentioned earlier, actually had my car and borrowed it because his car was in the shop. And we had some good friends that would work on our cars, and we sort of had a relationship with them that if our car had to stay overnight, they were to put the car inside of their garage. Well, on this particular day, my brother left the keys in the car for them to do that, and they forgot, and the car was actually left outside. And actually, I had observed the car about 4 o'clock that morning. And my brother had left me a message and told me that the car was still at the shop, and I didn't really worry about it. I figured I would pick it up the next day. And bright and early the next morning, and I was working a midnight shift, so I got off at 6 o'clock in the morning. I went home and went to bed. My brother called me. Well, the other part about my brother, he's a big practical joker and jokester, and as well as the guys at the shop. And so they tell me that my car has been stolen. And I didn't believe them at first, and I was kind of upset because I wanted to go to bed and just go back to sleep. But then they convinced me that my car really was stolen. And so I had to report it to the insurance company, and and it wasn't a brand new car. And I'm trying to figure out why anybody would even take it at the time. But now I knew what it felt like to be a victim, So I actually came into work later that night, and we were at roll call, and I had to tell my shift to be on the lookout for my car. And they got the biggest, that was a big joke to them. Well, we were, so I went, and I worked in a pretty busy area, and it was known for, guys, there to be some car thieves in that beat. So I'll never forget, I went and I went and had a sandwich, and I said, well, I'll go out on this particular road and I'll just sit and watch as the cars go by while I eat my dinner. And in the midst of that, I hear my corporal come on the radio and says, tell Officer Jones that I'm behind his car, pulling out of the 7-Eleven in Gaithersburg. And so, of course, I hightail it, and I'm trying to get to them to, where they finally get the car stopped, and they actually get it stopped, and 2 individuals are in my car, and it was like a scene out of a movie. It's like there's probably 15 police cars surrounding my car with the 2 suspects on the ground, and I'm the last person, to walk through this wave of cars. And so when I get up to the individual, and I pull up to the driver, and I asked him, I said, whose car is this? And he's like, it's my buddy's car, and he's pointing to the other guy with his head. And I'm like, I asked him again, I'm like, whose car is this? He's like, it's my buddy's car. And I said, no, it's my car. And the look on his face was priceless. So